If you are a vibe coder and you're not using Cursor just because you think that it is only for developers, then my friend, you are missing out. Because Cursor is this comprehensive vibe coding workspace that gives you access to a variety of LLM models. On the same project, you can switch between GPT and Claude in no time. And not only that, it has extended functionalities that can help you achieve your goal faster. And in today's video, I'm going to be building a real working web app using Cursor. I'm not going to write a single line of code myself. We're going to start from scratch and we will take it all the way up, which is deploying it live on the internet. So if you want to start your journey with Cursor, watch this video till the very end. For those of you who are watching my video for the first time, hi, my name is Yashica. I have been deeply interested in the no-code AI space for more than 2.5 years now. I run Automates AI, which is a company I founded that helps businesses implement AI systems. I advise on AI, and on this channel, I cover everything no-code AI related. If you are interested, don't forget to subscribe. So if you're ready to start building, let me take you to my screen. If it's your first time working with Cursor, just search for it, go to their website, and here you'll spot the download button, so simply download it. You can also access it via the web, but I personally prefer downloading it. If I talk about the pricing, you can start with the free one, and if you need more limits, you can easily upgrade. Once you're inside Cursor, the first thing you want to do is go to the agents window, which is going to take you right here. So now this should look familiar to you. It's more of that ChatGPT vibe wherein you give a prompt and you can check the history here. So it might look a little less intimidating. Next up, we have to choose where the files that it generates would be stored. So I would recommend that you create a new folder called Cursor in your system and select that so that all the files, everything is organized there. And this is the place from where you can choose the model. So as you can see, we have Opus 4.8, we have GPT 5.5. As of today, I also have access to Fable 5, Sonnet. We also have Composer 2.5, which is their own model. So to start, we're going to choose Composer 2.5, and later on, we can obviously switch if needed. Now, just like Claude Code, Codex, etc., Cursor also has skills, plugins, different modes, agent teams, orchestration, you name it, they have it. And hence, at the beginning of this video, I said that it is a vibe coding workspace. So the procedure is not going to vary a lot. We're going to start with the plan mode. We're going to plan what we will be building. Then we're going to let it build. We will be testing it, refining it, and then deploying it. So let me select plan here. And now in simple plain English, we have to tell it what we want to build. Now don't focus on the how part, which is which programming language you want it to use, etc. Instead, focus on the outcome, which is what you want to get built. So my idea of what we are building today is simple. So I want to build an itinerary planning app. So as a travel freak myself, I get the headache of planning a trip. And hence I want to build an app that I would personally use whenever I'm traveling somewhere. So I just put in where I want to travel, a few more details, how many people, how many days, budget, etc., my interests and categories, etc. And based on that, it comes up with an itinerary. Now this is not a plain text itinerary like ChatGPT or Claude would give you. Instead, it is in Kanban structure, where you can easily, drag and drop different places, you can rearrange things, you have more control over it, and then accordingly it, recalculates things for you. It makes sure you're not backtracking. The places that are nearby are covered on one day. So you get my point. So it's like a complete travel planning app. Now, obviously not hotels and flights, etc. That's going to be too much for this video, but mainly planning the trip, which is the itinerary. So this is the prompt that I would be sending it under the plan mode. So let me read it out for you. I will also include it in the description so that you can copy or change it. So I'm telling it I want to build an AI-powered itinerary planning app, and I need you to plan out the product before writing any code. The idea is that a user sets up a trip through a guided form. So like destination, number of days, etc. And the app generates a full day-by-day itinerary shown as a Kanban board, where each column is a day and each card is a stop. The user can drag between days or reorder. It should calculate travel time, show total travel time, recommend the optimal order, minimize backtracking, respect opening hours, resuggest the plan. Users must be able to save it, come back to it. Then I'm telling it a little bit about how to take the inputs, for example, use drop downs, etc. And then I'm telling it a little bit about the UI, which is it should feel modern, it should be clean, use subtle motions, it should feel like a product, not a template. And before you write any code, give me a product spec, covering the feature breakdown, the user flows, the data model, the UI design, etc. And let me also type any feature suggestions are welcomed. So as you might have seen, I have not focused on telling it what to use. For example, use Google Maps or use this API for AI. I haven't focused on that. I've just focused on what I'm looking for. And now let's send it so that it can plan the overall product or the project. This helps AI get a bigger picture and helps it build efficiently. So now it is asking us how should it save the trip, because I mentioned in my prompt that people must be able to save it. So for the time being, we're going to proceed with saving it locally, and later on we're going to add the authentication functionality, which will let them save it inside of their account, like we do it on all these major SaaS platforms. So basically we will be adding a database later on. For now, let's just proceed with this option. Next up, it is asking us which map we want to use. So obviously Google Maps. So every time it is unclear about something, it simply asks you a question instead of just assuming things. And here's the plan it is suggesting. So these are the different features, the Kanban structure. Basically, it's a very detailed document, as you can see, with diagrams. And here's the data model. Amazing. So how the data flows. Then UI principles, color palette, spacing and layout, technical architecture. So which programming language, what backend, everything. And then the phases. So first phase is MVP. And then we have phase 2, which is expansion, phase 3, which is adding a database, authentication, phase 4, adding intelligence, and here's the to-do list. Amazing. So again, if you want to give it any feedback, you can. If not, simply proceed with build. So after working for 5 minutes and 27 seconds, it has built our MVP. So basically, these are the features of the MVP, and it hasn't connected it to Google Maps or AI as of now. And hence it is asking us to choose Paris while we're testing it. So let's see what it has built. Okay, so here we are. So it's called Drift and plan your next adventure. All right. So where are you going? We're going to Paris. When and how long? So let's take about 7 days. What interests you? Okay. All right. So pick 3 to 8 categories and I've selected 9. So next, pace and budget. How will you get around? Okay, so it's mixed. So walk, public plus private. Any specifics? So 2 adults. Okay, let's keep that. Dietary preferences. Okay, that's nice. Anything else? So basically, if someone wants to put a note, they can add it here. But I'm just going to proceed because right now it's an MVP. So just review everything and generate. Okay, so this is what it has generated. So this is the Kanban structure basically. So day 1, Eiffel Tower, then here's day 2. All right. Okay. We need to work on the design a little bit. Let's see what else we have. We have the map. Okay. Some work is needed. And here's the timeline. Okay. I like this. So then you can share it. You can have it as a report. Okay. Cool. Then you can download it. Okay. And there's a night mode as well. Cool. And let me try reordering. So let's say I want to take this onto Friday. Okay, so it's saying this order may not work. So let's optimize. So I mean, overall good concept, but still we need to work on the design a little bit. And obviously we need to connect it to Google Maps, etc. And it has also saved it under your trips. So basically you can come back to it. So yeah, not bad for an MVP, obviously, which was built in like 5 minutes. So before we work on the front end and the design, let's first get the backend working, which is have Google Maps, etc. So let me give it some feedback. Good job on the MVP. It's impressive. Now I would like to go ahead and connect Google Maps, and for the LLM, I would like to connect it to OpenRouter so that we can access multiple models instead of simply connecting to Claude. So give me the steps of what you need and where I need to add the API keys. So basically, when you're a beginner and it asks you to get something, you should ask it for the steps so that you don't end up wasting time, and also ask it where you need to exactly put it. And here I'm asking it to use OpenRouter because OpenRouter gives you access to many more AI models as compared to sticking to one provider. So we have to put it in the env file. Okay, so it needs the Google Maps API key, OpenRouter API key, and it needs both server side and client side. Okay, then these are the steps. All right, I'm going to do that just in a moment. And then here's the steps for OpenRouter. So let's fetch it. By the way, it is asking us to create this file. So let me just ask it to create the .env file for me, where I can easily add the credentials. And while it is doing that, let's get the keys. So firstly, going to OpenRouter, as I mentioned, it gives you access to multiple LLMs from one API key, one wallet. So you can create an account here, you can add some credit balance, and then you can generate an API key. Now this is only required if your app needs LLMs or if it needs exposure to AI models. If not, obviously you wouldn't need it. Okay, so it has created the file for us. So let me just click on this, which should take me to the file. Yep. And let me paste the API key here. For the model, let's use Sonnet 5. So I'm going to copy the model name and I'm going to update it here. Save. Let's quickly get the Google Maps set up. So let's go to Google Cloud Console. Let's create a new project, call it Vibe-coded app, cursor, select it. Then we have to enable these services, Places API, Routes API, Maps Static API. So let's go here and let me enable them one by one. Now let's enable Places API and then Maps Static API. And now let me fetch the API key. So I'll go to Credentials, create a new one, give it a name. Now for restrictions, obviously you can follow this. You can create two different API keys with different restrictions. For the first API key, we're going to restrict it to places and routes as it mentioned. And for now, I'm not going to put any application restrictions. So let me create this. So I've got the key and that one goes here. Now I'm going to create a second key. So let me call it the public API key. And this one just has this API, which is maps. Okay. And I'm not gonna do any of these. You can do this after deployment if needed. And let me paste the API key here. So that should give it everything it needs, which is from our end. So let me update it. Hey cursor, I have added the OpenRouter API key. I have configured the model. I've also added both of the Google Maps API keys separately. Now I haven't added an Anthropic API key, so please remove it and update the code so that it supports OpenRouter. Once you're done, proceed to phase 2 and give me the link to start testing it. So phase 1 was the MVP we just now saw, and phase 2 is basically the app with integrations working. So let me send it. So basically when it builds phase 2, we can test it for any place in the world and not just Paris. So again, in 5 minutes, it has come back with phase 2 and I'm quite excited to test it because things now would work. So let's go. So it took me here. So let's plan another trip. This time, let's go to New York. Okay. So let me quickly fill this out. Again, the focus is not on the UI for now. All right. Let's keep the days a bit relaxed. All right. This is mixed. 2 people and continue. Okay. Looks good. Okay. So now it's actually crafting our itinerary. So it's using AI to come up with it and then it will display that. All right. So here's day 1. And what happens if I click on it? Okay. So it gives me a description. You can adjust the duration yourself. Okay. You can lock the position. You can find an alternative. Let me find an alternative. No alternatives found nearby. Okay. So total time 5 hours 45 minutes active. Okay. So let's say that I want to move this one here. So then, yep, it does update. Okay. And then let me optimize. Okay. So basically based on the distance, it optimized it. Okay. So this is the complete plan. Nice. Let's check the map. Oh, okay. So we can see a map. I don't think it's interactive. Okay. So day 1, day 2, day 3. Okay, got it. So it's not interactive at the moment. And here's the complete timeline. Cool. So things seem to work, right? So let me try another place. So let's go with Singapore. Okay, so it's not showing Singapore. So I think we need to fix this. And then I think the other thing would be the map that we have to fix in terms of functionality. keeping aside the UI. So basically right now it says 0-minute travel, but then if you click on smart order, it shows you the travel time, which is 1 hour walking, 30-minute walking. Okay, so again, something is off there. But yeah, this part works where you take it from one place to another. So that's nice. So let's give it some feedback. Good job on phase 2. So first thing I noticed is that it's only working for major destinations. If I put something like Singapore or Dubai, it's not auto completing it while filling out the form. So please fix it. And then I do need an interactive map. So you said you would need a map ID. So give me the exact steps to generate that for you and I'll get it for you. Is it area specific or how does it work? And the last thing is that only when someone clicks on smart order does it show the travel time, which I don't think is ideal. It should show the travel time, and it's showing 1 hour walking times. Like, that's now not how it works. If it's like a 10-minute walk, it's a walk. But if it's a 1 hour walk, it's not a walk. I hope you get that. Make it an intelligent planning app, please. It should make sense. So let's work on getting the functionality in place and then we're gonna move on to the UI. Alright, so that was some feedback right there. Let's see what it improves. Okay, so it has fixed autocomplete, it has fixed travel times and that walking thing. Now before we test it, let's give it the map ID so that the map is interactive. So I will enable this one and then I have to update it on the public key as well. So let's go back to credentials. And let's go to the public key and let me add this here. Okay, save. Then we have to go to map management. So I might just search for it. Okay, so here I am on map management, create map ID. Let's call it wipe coded app. The type is JavaScript, vector. And finally we have the map ID, which I'll update in the local file, which is right here. Save that. So let me tell it I've updated it. Okay, so it has updated that. So now let's test again. So plan a trip. This time let's select Dubai. Okay, that works. Singapore works. Let me just do Dubai for now. Let's do 5 days. So here it is. Okay, something is wrong. So it's acting a bit weird. At least the walking and transit thing has been fixed. That's nice because who's gonna do a 1 hour walk? Like, people do it, but I can't. Let's check the map. Alright, so it's finally interactive and I can go by day 1, day 2, beautiful. And there's also satellite, so that's nice. And here's the timeline. So let's fix this. It's a bit off. Let me also try and take a screenshot of this. The map worked, so good job on that, but something is off on the Kanban. The word this may not be optimized or something is constantly moving across different columns, like it's in a loop or something is wrong, so please fix it. So whenever you're handling errors, it's nice to give it screenshots so it knows exactly what is going wrong and where it's going wrong. Okay, I think it fixed it. So yes, now it's not happening. Alright, so Burj Khalifa to Dubai Fountain Show, 8-minute walk, that's correct. And then it's giving vegetarian like food options like this one. Okay, so you go to Miracle Garden, Global Village. So even I did it in 1 day when I was in Dubai. So yeah, the itinerary looks okay. What else? Let me see. I'm just trying to verify if it's making sense or not for a person to actually follow it. So you do JBR and Marina like together, I think. Yes, I also did the same thing. So yeah, distance wise makes sense, I think. So you take the Abara ride, you go to Gold Souk. Yep. You know what? It matches my itinerary to a great extent. So yeah, nice. So let's say I want to take the Kite Beach with JBR. Okay, so it has recalculated. Cool. Now my next question is, what if someone doesn't want to go somewhere? So can I find alternatives? So it's saying no alternatives found. So I think that needs to be improved. Alright, so it works. Now some feedback. Firstly, what if someone doesn't want to go to a particular place it has suggested? How do they tell that, okay, I don't want to go to the museum, instead I want to go somewhere else? So we need that functionality as well. Also, the nearby alternatives feature is not working, I think. So please look into that. So basically we want to have a functionality wherein a person can easily change places if they don't want to go somewhere, or they can add places. So just add or update that functionality. Okay, so it has added a few more functionalities. So let's check that out. So it says swap this stop. Don't want to visit this place? Search for somewhere else or pick a nearby alternative. First, let me try nearby. Okay, so it's still saying not found. So let me search for the Museum of Future. I don't think this is really working. So it's nice that you added that functionality, but again, I don't think it's working. So I tried searching for places nearby, but that swapping feature did not auto-complete it, and neither did the alternative places one work. So please make it work and test it before you ask me to test it. And one more question, is it possible for you to display an image of that place if someone clicks on that card? If possible, implement it. I don't want to do any extra setup for that. So if you can get it from that same Google Maps API, implement it. Alright. Okay, I think it fixed it. Let me go here. Okay, so it has added a place for images. That's nice, but again, no images, which is not very nice. So let me try replacing this museum with the Museum of Future. Okay. And it's also giving nearby alternatives, which is nice. Oh, we have a photo. Great. So this worked. Nice. So I can order it. So then this is something you cover at the end. Okay. Let's add another stop. So let's say I want to go to Starbucks, which is in Al Seef. Yes. And order it again. Okay. So it's taking it at the end. Maybe I want to go after the Abara ride. So it's suggesting you go at the end. Okay. But something is off with the time calculation here. So let me take a screenshot of this. So let me tell it. Something is off with the time calculation. Also, the images work at some places and don't work at the other. So please add some error handling there and fix that behavior. Alright. So I think feature and functionality wise, it's going good. So it mentions the hours of operation. You can change the duration. You can swap it. You can check for nearby alternatives. Similarly, if you want to add more features, like you want to add an AI agent where people can chat, or you want to add a calendar or something, you just prompt it and it builds it for you. I can just keep on going and going. I have so many ideas, but I don't want this video to be 8 hours long. So now I think I am going to transition to working on the UI, which is how it looks and how it feels and how people navigate. By the way, it fixed this, I think. Yes, it fixed that. And let's see if the images work. No, the images still don't work. So it's saying it has fixed something. So let's refresh. Okay, we have a photo now. Cool. Beautiful. Now here's the thing. If you find that this model is not giving you good results, you can always switch. On top of that, you can always turn on the max mode if you're working on something advanced and complex, right? It's not that cursor is not good at it. It's more that your AI model might not be as good. So I hope you get my point. But for now, I'm just gonna stick to this. It's not as bad. Okay, so moving on to the design part. So right now, it's quite plain and simple. Now, if you have a creative brain, you have ideas, etc., you can tell it in plain English that do this, do that, make this red, make that blue, move this here, move it there. Good. But if you're someone like me who struggles with creativity, you can basically look for inspirations online. And let's say you find something. For example, I find this one nice for the Kanban. So what I can do is I can take a screenshot of this, or I can just copy the image and I can ask it to take inspiration from it. Not copy it as is, but take inspiration from it. Or maybe you can say that, okay, I like the design of the card. Can you implement that, right? So let's try that for the Kanban. So I'm gonna paste that. Now, one more thing I would say is if you are moving on from one stage to another, for example, we are moving on from development, or you could say backend, to more of front end, what I can do is I can start a new chat. So that way you can clear up context, you can save tokens, etc. So yes, let me paste the image and let me ask it that now I want to work on improving the UI of the app we have built so far. Now I have attached an image, and I really like how it has designed the cards in this image. And basically, I want you to take inspiration from the cards and apply that to the Kanban of our app. Now, I'm not saying that use it as is. No, I'm just saying take inspiration and give me something similar. whatever you give, make sure it works on the light theme as well as the dark theme, and it is responsive across different devices. We don't want to break anything. We want to make the app look consistent. All right, so let's send it. And that's why I prefer dictating instead of typing, because a lot of things come to my mind while I'm dictating, worse when I'm typing, because I guess I'm too lazy to keep on writing. Now here, as you can see, it says I'm waiting for a subagent, which means it is using a subagent orchestration. It is delegating tasks instead of working alone on it. So that's really nice about it, that it can basically use like a fleet of subagents, which is its multitask mode, and, delegate tasks, get it done faster and better. Okay, so it has done it. So let's check. All right. So this is what I gave it, and this is what it built. Still not bad, and I think it still matches the overall vibe of the app. I think it's still missing the image part on the background and then having an overlay on top of it. And I would also like to take font inspiration from this, and also how the time, etc. is shared. So let's give it some feedback. I'm reattaching the inspiration image. Let me flag out what all you missed. So firstly, we want to take inspiration from the background of these cards. So it is using some sort of image. It could be the image of that place. It could be that place on a map or something. And it is like using an overlay on top of that. And even the shape of the cards is different. The corners are different. The icons are also quite differently set up. The way it is mentioning the timing. Even the font is something that I like about it. And I also wouldn't mind having the calendar sort of system on the left and arranging the cards accordingly. So please look into that and implement those key details that I think you missed. Okay, let's see what it has done. Okay, I mean, the cards look good. And the only thing is that I wanted one axis, and I still want to keep the Kanban thing working. Yeah, I think it works. So let me again give it feedback. Good job on the cards. But for the left axis or the time axis, we just want one common one at the left side of the app, which works across all the columns. Also, please modernize the title of each column, like day 2, the date, etc. It's not matching the overall vibe. Add some overlays, some shadows, update the font, update how you're giving or showing that information so that it matches the cards well. And please pay attention on the spacing as well. So yeah, simply whatever comes to your mind, just tell it, and that's how you refine the UI. It's different for different people. Some people find setting up the backend easier, which is a person like me. Someone finds working on the front end easier. So it really depends. Oh, it also updated the timeline. Beautiful. Amazing. Yeah, I'm a fan of this one. So no changes here, obviously. The map also looks okay to me. So again, no changes here. Okay, so let's see. Okay, cool. So now this is how our Kanban looks like. Way better. And I can move here. And I think I can easily drag and drop the cards as well. Yes, and it automatically updates the time and it reorders it based on the travel time. Beautiful. And then you can clearly see that, okay, this part is empty. Let's like add a stop for 2 p.m. let's say. So it really helps visualizing your day and how it's going to look like, etc. So good job there. Nothing to change here. The timeline looks perfect. The next thing would be this page. So let's also ask it to update this one's UI. So good job on updating the Kanban. Next up, we want to update this main page where all the trips, etc. are stored. Like we want to update these cards and make it match the overall app. So similar cards, similar shadow overlay, spacing, etc. So if you can implement that, that would be great. Let me send it. By the way, this is how our New York one looks like that we had generated before. Nice, right? I think the images really helped. Okay, so that is done. Okay, beautiful. So we have the Eiffel Tower. This, I think, is the Marina, or I don't know, JBR or something. I thought it would put Burj Khalifa for Dubai, but okay. And then here's New York. Let me see, Paris. Okay, Eiffel Tower. Cool. Okay, so I think we have moved past the AI slop design and it's workable. As I said again, if I wanted, I could make it look even better and better, but I don't want this video to be 8 hours. So I'm gonna stop here because I know that you have now understood the drill, which is you give it inspirations in the form of screenshots or your own ideas. Then you refine on top of it, and eventually you will get to a stage. In case you're not, change the LLM model. It's just that. Don't you dare think that it can't do it. So we are at a decent stage now, and I think it's finally the time that we add the authentication feature, which is sign in, sign out, etc. And also add a database so that it's not saving this locally. So that takes me to phase 3 of this project. So again, I'm going to open a new one. Before that, I also want to take you to plugins. So if you go to the settings, you'll spot plugins. If you go to marketplace and you just search for Supabase, so first browse, and then if you search for Supabase, you'll find it right here. So Supabase is the best, or you could say the most straightforward database that you can add to any vibe-coded project. It has authentication, it has database functionality, and I personally use it in all of my vibe-coded projects. Everyone does. So yeah, first things first, you have to add it to Cursor. So add the plugin. Then I'm going to start a new chat. So let me tell it. I have added the Supabase plugin, and I want you to use it to implement authentication as well as database setup for my vibe-coded app, which is Drift. I want to have the functionality of letting people sign up, log in, everything end to end. Also, instead of saving the trips locally, we want to save it inside of our database, which is on the cloud. We want to keep everything as is, no functionality changes. We just want to set this up. So don't mess with anything else we have set up so far. Pay special attention towards security. Make sure RLS is enabled inside Supabase so that the user's data don't get mixed. We don't want any sort of breaches. So keep an extra eye on security while you're setting this up. If there's anything you need from my end, any connection, just let me know. So let's send it. So essentially I asked it to enable RLS, which is row level security, which basically avoids data mixing so that I cannot access someone else's data. I can only access my own data. Okay, so it's asking me to connect to Supabase. So let me do that. So I've given it access. So connecting Supabase now is so much more simpler through these plugins and MCPs. Before you had to put so many API keys, do so much configuration, but now it can do it all on your behalf. So it has now enabled authentication. It has set up the database and security. So let's see how that works. So I think something is off. Sign in is off a little bit. Let me take a screenshot of this. Attached is the screenshot of what I see when I click on sign in. Also add a button for login. So an existing customer can also log into their account, look at the trips they have, etc. And whenever someone fills out the form, before showing them the itinerary, we want to basically ask them to log in or sign in to be able to see the itinerary. So we want to put the itinerary behind the authentication. Okay, so let's see now. So yes, sign up works now. Okay, and so does login. So let me try planning a trip. Okay, so now let me click on generate, and that asks me to log in or sign up. Okay, so let me sign up. Okay, so my account was created and now it's generating the itinerary. And here's our itinerary. Beautiful. Gardens by the bay. Okay. And if I go back, it has saved it to my account right here. And I can sign out and I can log in. So see how easy it was to connect it to Supabase. Now here's the thing. You need to stress test each and every functionality. Maybe authentication, maybe generating the itinerary. You have to take several cases. So spend some good time on testing it and refining it further. After that, also use Cursor to build a landing page for your SaaS product or the app that you're building. After watching this video, you're quite equipped to build it. And once you are all set, once you have configured all the backend things, you have made sure Open Router, Google Maps, everything is in place and you're ready to launch, that is when you move to the next phase, which is deployment. Right now, everything is running on localhost, which is your personal computer. No one on the internet can access it except you. So to take it live, you need two things, domain and hosting. Now, while there are many different ways of how you can host your web app or website and take it live on the internet, deploy it, I personally prefer hosting it through Hostinger. If I talk specifically about Cursor, just like we added the Supabase plugin, we can add a Hostinger plugin so that our agent can directly use it to deploy the app, which means we don't have to take the headache of deployment, which is a step where a lot of people face difficulties, especially beginners. I also prefer Hostinger because of its cost to performance. I'm using it for my own website. Touch wood, haven't faced any problems. And the best part is, if you choose Hostinger, you don't have to buy the domain separately, the hosting separately, because if you buy just the hosting, you'll get a free domain for an entire year, plus free business email and managed SSLs. Another cherry on the top, their monsoon sale is currently live. It started on the 30th of June and it continues till the 17th of August, which means even better prices. And I'll make sure you get some extra discounts. So firstly, go to the description. You will find the link to this page. Once you're here, you can scroll down. You'll spot two different plans. For our use case, the business plan suits well. So you can host up to 5 web apps, 50 websites. If I talk about resources, it has 2 CPU cores, 3 GB RAM, 50 GB of NVMe storage, obviously the domain I talked about. So simply choose plan. Now, even on top of the sale, you can get extra discounts using the coupon code Yashica20. It is applicable on the 12 months plan, on the 24 months plan, and the 48 months plan. So already the prices are affordable and you can use my link and coupon to get extra discounts. So once your purchase is complete, head over to API and here select Cursor. Now you will see that install extension in Cursor. So click on that. It is going to take you to this screen and you simply have to install it. Okay, it is installed. Now going back to the agent, I'm going to ask it, hey Cursor, let me know if you can access my Hostinger account and see if you can find a business plan and a domain that I just now bought. In case it is not finding it, just mention that I have installed an extension called Hostinger Connector. Just try connecting via that. Okay, so let's connect our account. So let's go to the IDE. From here, just select Hostinger from this drop down and connect it. Give it the permission. All right, let's go back to our agent and let me tell it connected. Okay, and it found our web hosting. Now, in case it is not spotting the domain, what you'll have to do is you will have to claim it. So on the home page, it would show you that claim your domain. So at that point, you can claim it. I've already claimed it for another demo of mine. So you can simply search for a domain you want and claim it. It's like a quick process and then it will show it here. So now let me ask it to deploy it. All right, that's great. So yes, use this web hosting and this domain and deploy our vibe coded app Drift. Make sure you deploy it securely, add all the environment variables correctly, configure everything properly, and once it has been deployed, just let me know and I'll check the domain and see if I can find my app. All right. So again, if you want, you can just tell it that, okay, deploy the app. But I personally like to give it instructions around security. For example, add environment variables correctly, etc. So now let's leave it and let it deploy. Okay, it's done. So it took 3 minutes and let's check the domain. And indeed, it is done. Beautiful. So as you can see, here's the domain and here's our app. And with that, we have built a complete working app using Cursor. We did not write a single line of code. We started from scratch. We built the backend, the front end. We configured authentication, database security, and we also deployed it to the internet. So you'll find the link to Hostinger in the description along with the coupon codes. Do not miss on the monsoon sale. It will be live till the 17th of August 2026. If you found this video valuable, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hype this video if possible, and let me know in the comments. If you are interested in working with our agency, Automates AI, you can check out the link to our website in the description. We can help set up AI systems for your business that can help cut down a lot of manual and tedious work. If you are looking for my advice, you can book a one-on-one consulting call with me, link to my calendar in the description. If you want to connect with me personally, send me a connection request on LinkedIn. Do follow me on LinkedIn as well as X for some more exclusive content. I will meet you in the next video. Till then, bye.